Hello and welcome to CEO's Projects. Today we're going to talk about how emulation can be better than hardware. Emulation can be better than hardware in a few ways: mobility, price, and ease of use. Also, access to the materials. To start off, price. Most Windows 95 machines, if you get them made specially by companies, they can range from $5,000 to $10,000. Meanwhile, a software similar to Oracle VirtualBox is free. And most old style Windows programs are on places like the Internet Archive, or you could just download them off the internet. Just be safe when you do so, because there are a lot of places that do include malware and viruses. Now we're going to talk about mobility. Mobility pretty much means where can you use this and how easy is it to get the hardware from your base to where you're going to be working. Now for me, Oracle VMware or VirtualBox works perfectly anywhere. You can run it on a server, you can run it on a laptop, or you could even remote into your computer, but that's sort of cheating in a way because you're not actually emulating it where you are. You can also run it on certain phones, which is pretty cool. DOSBox used to have a thing for the iPhone, but I think it's discontinued for a very long time now. So compared to the original hardware, which with an EdgeTech 3200XS, which could weigh almost 400 pounds, or a laptop that you cannot afford to have destroyed, being able to just pull it up on any laptop, any cheap computer you want, is awesome. Because most computers nowadays, even the super cheap ones, even a Chromebook, should be able to run something like Windows 95 or Windows 2000. I wouldn't say anything more than that because it could get a little bit too strong, but realistically anything can run it nowadays. I mean, this could probably run two instances at the same time if you're tech savvy enough. Now we're going to talk about access. Stuff like Oracle is free. Oracle VirtualBox is free. It's super easy to find. It's compatible with most platforms, Linux and Windows. I don't know about Mac OS just because that changes by the day. So it works pretty much on everything. You also can get it for free. You don't, as long as you're not a company using it to make money, you can use it for free. And it's compatible with pretty much anything. So if you want to run an old Windows 95 file, you can do that for free. There's no extra additional costs that you need to pay for. It's not like VNC server, which just recently changed its ability to, or your ability to have 4 computers. Now you can only have 3. Sorry, I'm just a little bit annoyed about that because I had to change a bunch of stuff. And that, in comparison to older hardware, which just the availability and accessibility by price, you might be spending $5,000 on a computer, which I know this is harkening back to the price, but it's the availability of these items that harsh the price. So you could go on eBay and buy these parts. They do exist. It's just they could range from $20 to $500, which again, it's harkening back to the price, but it is true. So when it comes to availability, what I've found is best for these types of when you're trying to run older softwares like Windows 98, Windows 95, Windows 2000, all these old things, the Internet Archive is the best place you can go to grab these things, these image files. And the best part also with these programs such as VirtualBox is that you can use adapters with the computer. So in other words, if you need to read a floppy disk in MS-DOS format, sometimes, and the keyword I say sometimes, you can buy an adapter, floppy disk adapter, plug it into your computer, and then connect it and have the Windows 95 computer interpret that drive as just a normal connected floppy drive. This has had very mixed results for myself. It depends on Windows if they support it or not. It's very, 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 very finicky. There was a video game that I used to play using a virtual machine, and it stopped working because Windows decided to update it and not allow you to have any more MS-DOS files. Well, at least it couldn't work with MS-DOS. files anymore. It was a little bit finicky, because the thing is, which is one of the tiny problems that I have with emulators, is that the program itself has to interpret the data. The thing is, Windows has to interpret the data before it gets to the program in the first place. So if it can't interpret that data, it's not going to work, and you'll get drive failures, and it sucks when you spend a lot of money on an adapter just for it to not work. So yeah, I mean, that's really all the qualms I have with emulators. I mean, they're not horrible, but my heart still has a place for hardware, because realistically with hardware, everything's gonna work and be great if it's something that's baked into the program and hardware. But with the emulation, you can download files and get them much easier onto your computer. You also can connect these old Windows 95 images to the internet just by using the program. So in other words, if you want to see if you can play a video game or search something up on a Windows 95 file, you can easily do that, which I have done before to see if you can actually emulate stuff, or if it was to see if you can actually connect to the internet, or if my card was broken. It turned out that my card was broken because I was able to clone the drive, turn it into a disk image file, take the disk image file, turn it back in, well, take it and turn it into a VirtualBox file, and then from there I was able to test it, and it was able to connect to the internet, and there was no problem. So, I guess that brings up another point. Emulators, they're great for testing. You also don't risk blowing up any hardware, which thankfully, knock on wood, I have not destroyed any hardware yet through emulation. And yeah, just hardware, in my opinion, it's better, but emulation definitely does have its place, just because it's free, it's easy to use, and there's minimal risks. I mean, as long as you don't go to a weird website, download a Windows 95 file, and then Norton pops up and says, "This is a Trojan file. We did not allow you to keep it." So just make sure when you do download those image files, make sure they're safe, and make sure that they're also legal. Don't go pirating, because certain websites, they're really not safe. So you'll be able to find stuff for free, but just make sure they're safe. So I guess that's really it for this weekend. I cannot stress how much I love Oracle VirtualBox. It's great, especially with adapters. As long as you can buy a PCI to PCIe adapter and stuff like that, you can use most expansion cards, which means most old video cards, which is pretty cool. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, if you're still watching, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.